seemingly beautiful island, but with the soul of fire. Welcome to Survivor, Fraser Island. Located in a marine biome, Fraser Island is the next place for the Survivor season. Similar biomes include off the coast of Hawaii or in Fiji, where previous Survivor seasons were filmed. The average amount of precipitation on Fraser Island is 66.5 millimeters of rainfall per year, and the average temperature is 19 to 27.9 degrees Celsius. As in previous seasons, contestants are required to build a type of lean-to. They will make these lean-tos out of large sticks that they will attempt to cut, and leaves that they shall use to try to protect them from the annual rainfall. Some concerns for some of the contestants are flooding in the coastal areas and the fire that the rains may put out. The Angiopteris avecta. The Angiopteris avecta, or otherwise known as the giant or king fern, is one of the largest ferns on the planet, not in height but in the size of its leaves. The Angiopteris avecta is a giant primeval-looking fern that produces massive globular trunks and gigantic leaves. Its leaves are very coarse and bumpy. The Angiopteris avecta lives in a tropical climate, perfect for Fraser Island. Some adaptations of the Angiopteris avecta is that whenever it will lose its leaves when humidity drops and then will go into hibernation. When it is raining heavily, giant ferns can often turn green overnight. Also, the Angiopteris avecta needs a lot of water, so whenever it becomes dry, they can also go into hibernation. Some fun facts about the Angiopteris avecta is that other names for it include the king fern, the oriental vessel fern, and mule's foot fern. Also, the huge mature leaves can grow to be 25 feet long.
Another edible plant is the jibong. It is a small tree or shrub with edible fruits, 7 to 20 millimeters long. Ripe fruits are found on the ground or in between branches under the jibong. The fruits can be typically pale green or orange, which is not very common, but can be found with a large seed inside and a stalk-like style at the tip. While the fruit is on the tree, it is not worth eating. The best are under the jibong. Blueberry ash is another type of edible plant found on Fraser Island. The small fruits on this shrub or tree can be 5 millimeters in diameter and contain a large seed. When the seed inside is firm, it is stringent and unpleasant to eat. As the seed softens, the fruit develops a flowery taste. The most flavorsome fruits are wrinkled and hang from the underside limbs of the tree. If the fruit is bright blue, it can be eaten raw. This plant is found in abundance on Fraser Island. The best time to look for this fruit is May and October. The baito bush is another edible plant found in Fraser Island. The baito bush is a sprawling shrub, 1 to 2 meters high. The leaves are long, broad oval shapes, and are smooth or only slightly toothed edges with yellow flowers year-round. Some baito bushes, however, do not produce yellow flowers. It is an invasive species that grows along the southern east coast of Australia. Distribution. It is found in Australia. The baito bush has naturalized along the coast of Queensland and New South Wales and on an island in the surrounding areas. Some adaptations are, when exposed to harsh conditions, it grows prostrate. The baito bush climbs through other shrubs to reach sunlight when there is no sunlight accessible. The baito bush, when it has been introduced to Australia, has adapted to humid coastal, subtropical areas. The waxy leaves for protection the plant from sand blasting in summer heat. Some interesting facts are, the baito bush was first introduced to Australia in 1908, dumped as ballast from ships. The baito bush was initially and deliberately planted for soil and dune stabilization.
This is one of the animals that they have the availability to eat. And it's so adorable. Look at it. I don't know if I could get close enough to it to have it stay. Oh, there it goes. Oh, there it goes again. The animal just seen by one of our explorers is called a squirrel. Squirrels are equipped with several key adaptations, including powerful hind legs, a heightened sense of smell, and an excellent memory, and a suite of vocalizations. Squirrels have physical adaptations such as anatomy and body structure, and exceptional cognitive abilities to help them survive specific habitats on short-term basis.
Another animal that the contestants can eat is a mouse. The mouse have teeth that can continue to grow as long as they live. They are small and can run fast to escape predators. They have a keen sense of smell in order to find food and tell whether or not it is safe to eat. They thrive in Fraser Island.
Another type of animal that the contestants can eat is called the rabbit. The rabbit is a furry animal with very large ears. Some adaptation of the rabbits is that rabbits have a good sense of smell and very good hearing. Their large ears are constantly twitching to detect small sounds. The eyes are set to the side of their heads for an all-around vision, and this combined with their hearing warns them of predators. They have strong back legs for running and kicking at predators such as the stoat. When it runs, its babbing its white tail warns other rabbits of danger. Another animal that the contestants could possibly eat is the dingo. The dingo has a large head, almond-shaped eyes, erect ears, a narrow chest and shoulders, a proportionate body, and a bottle-shaped tail for balance. Some adaptations of the dingo is that it has pointed ears to assist the dingo to hear better for hunting, hearing, approaching enemies, and loss of body heat. The dingo's fur helps camouflage it into its surroundings. Also, short fur helps maintain body heat. They use howling to defend their territory and send warning signals to their pack. They use howls to call back lost puppies. The average lifespan of a dingo is 7 to 15 years. Dingoes can also be a threat to the contestants if not addressed properly.
Another animal that can be eaten is the European red fox. The European red fox is known by its reddish coat, black legs and ears, and long white-tipped bushy tail. It has a long muzzle, pointed ears, and a white underside. It has a white-tipped tail and dark feet. Red foxes weigh between 7 and 15 pounds and measure between 39 and 43 inches long, including the tail. Males are slightly heavier and generally larger than females. The European red fox lives in urban, alpine, and arid areas. It appears to be most abundant in lightly wooded areas that are found in agricultural landscapes. Some adaptations are that they have learned to run quickly away from big predators such as wildcats. Their tiny stomachs and lengthy limbs allow them to grow at 30 miles per hour. When red foxes run away from predators, they vomit so that they can run faster and empty their stomachs. They have a very good vision and smell and hearing that they can hear animals underground.
Another type of animal that the contestants may be able to eat is the sand guana. The sand guanas combine predatory and scavenging behaviors. A guana will prey upon an animal if it can catch it small enough to eat whole. Most guanas are dark in coloration, browns, blacks, and greens featuring prominently. Many desert-dwelling species also feature yellow to red tones. Like most lizards, guanas lay eggs. Contestants can also eat these eggs. Some threats that the contestants may encounter are dingoes and European foxes. If they are encountered, then the best thing for the contestants to do is to run away, because their chances of overcoming them are slim to nothing, but if caught, can be used for prey.
Some current ecological concerns are high water and flooding concerns, which has an impact on bird population because of the decline of the ghost crab, beachworms, and molluscums. There are lots of floods, and because highways are made, species die off. Current conservation efforts are marine debris surveys, environmental rehabilitation of natural species because of invasive species such as the dingo and the white-tailed bush. Future conservation efforts are to help dingoes or keep them away from populated areas so they aren't as invasive as they are now. Some items that the Survivor contestants will need is a rain jacket to protect them from the wet and cold rain, a canteen for water, a backpack to hold their stuff in so they won't have to carry it in hand, and flint to start a fire.
Some important renewable resources that Survivor contestants can use to make a fire are sticks, rocks to form the fire, leaves, and most importantly, a flint.
First, you assemble the rocks into a circle like this. Then, you put the sticks over it. Then, you put the leaves over to help start the fire. Lastly, you light it with the flint. Next is our reward challenge called the Rocky Water Challenge, located off the coast of Fraser Island. You first start in a platform in the wavy water. Then, when the whistle blows, you dive into the salty water and swim as fast as you can to 3 vertical ladders. From there, you climb up each ladder that has a bag suspended from a pole that is filled with puzzle pieces and heavy rocks. Then, once you get all 3 bags, you swim back to shore where your teammates will await you. They will take out the puzzle pieces and build a picture out of it. The first team to win gets a rain cloth to cover your shelter and belongings from the frequent rainstorms, flint to start a fire in the wet and humid climate, and immunity to keep your team from going to tribal council and stay another day. While we're on Fraser Island, here's a couple ways we will avoid impacting the environment.
We will avoid impacting the environment by setting boundaries for the contestants so that they don't cross into harmful environments where they may be too much at risk or put risk to other animals.
We will not allow them to eat endangered species, whether it's plants or animals.
Hope you enjoy the next season of Survivor
on Fraser Island.